Hello students, we are going to perform Melde's experiment activity. The aim of the activity is to demonstrate the formation of stationary waves by Melde's experiment, and the apparatus required for this activity are a tuning fork, light flexible string, light pan, wet box, rubber hammer and a meter scale. So in this activity we have to study the Melde's experiment of vibrating string, and the setup of Melde's experiment activity consists of a light string is tied to one end of the prong of a tuning fork, and other end of a string passes over a pulley and light pan is suspended to the free end. Okay, the tension in the string can be adjusted by changing weights in the pan. So here the figure A shows that the perpendicular position of the tuning fork, that means the fork is adjusted so that its arms or prongs vibrate perpendicular to the length of the string, and it is called as a transverse position or a transverse mode. And the figure B shows that parallel position of a tuning fork, means the fork is adjusted so that its arms vibrate parallel to the length of the string, called as longitudinal mode or longitudinal position. The fork is set into vibrations by gently hammering a prong, and the tension in the string is adjusted to obtain a number of loops on the string. So see, in figure A there is two loops, and in figure B there is only one loop. The loops are formed due to interference between wave starting from the fork and traveling towards the pulley, and the waves reflected back from the pulley. The stationary waves means the two identical progressive waves, that is transverse wave and longitudinal waves. So transverse wave and longitudinal waves means, transverse wave means the wave in which the particle of a medium vibrates in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the waves. And longitudinal waves means what? The waves in which the particle of a medium vibrates in a direction parallel to the direction of propagation of the waves. So stationary waves means the two identical progressive waves moving along the same path in opposite direction, interfere with each other by superposition. Then the resultant wave obtained in the form of loops is known as stationary waves. Simply we can say the stationary wave is the combination of two waves traveling in opposite direction, having same amplitude and same frequency. There are some conditions of the stationary wave. So first one is the two identical waves traveling in opposite direction along the same path, and the wave which have same amplitude and same frequency, and the wave which having same speed. So here these are the two progressive waves. So this is first wave traveling along the y direction, and this one is second wave traveling towards the x direction. That means they are formed by the superposition of the two waves in opposite direction. So here imagine the string is fixed at the two ends, and some tension given to it. So if we pull the string at middle, or if we plug the string at middle and release it, at that time what happened? The string gets vibrating, okay, at a certain frequency. So the releasing of string produces the two progressive waves traveling in opposite direction. So the waves produces initially and the reflected waves combine to form the stationary waves. Okay, so this is the stationary wave, and this is the both sided arrow indicates that the motion of the particle on the string. So here this point denotes the antinode. Antinode means here the displacement of a particle, or you can say the amplitude of a particle is maximum, and these are the nodes. This is nodes. Okay, so nodes means what? Nodes means the displacement of a particle is 0 or minimum.
Setup of Melde's experiment. This is tuning fork. This is prongs of the tuning fork. One end of the string is fixed to this prong, and at the other end the tension is to be attached by means of this pulley. I can change the length of string by changing this way, and firstly I have to obtain 4 loops, well defined loops with the empty pan. See this is the pan, it is empty, and the mass of the pan is around 4 gram, right? Now see the formation of the loop. If I strike the tuning fork, now as madam already explained, this position of the tuning fork is parallel or longitudinal position, because prongs are vibrating inward and outward, and the wave also propagating in this direction. When I strike the prong, the first longitudinal wave will travel along the length. At the end of the pulley, these waves are reflected, and due to the interference of incident and reflected waves, stationary or standing waves are produced. If I strike it, see the number of loops. Now if I am changing the length, see the number of loops, how they are correlate with the length. If I am increasing the length, number of loops increases, and if I am decreasing the length, number of loops decrease. So the node is forming, node, antinode, they are alternately forming. Now see, these are 1, 2, 3 loops are there. Node is here, antinode. Antinode means the maximum displacement. So I have to adjust the length with the empty pan till I get 4 well defined loops. So for trial and error method, you change the length. The concept is that if you are decreasing the length, loops will decrease, and if you are increasing the length, the loops will increase. So see, I am getting 3 loops. Now I have to obtain 4 loops with empty pan, so I am increasing the length. They are not much steady. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Adjust the length properly. One, 2, 3 only. Let me change the length. See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just a minute, I measure the length. 67. So I am getting 4 well defined loop. If I am keeping the tension as how much? 3 plus 4. 4 is the mass of pan and 3 gram is to be attached. The number of loops are here 3. See, 1, 2, 3. 3 well defined loops with node, antinode is alternately formed. Now calculate MP square in this case also. P is 3, number of loops are 3, so P square is 3 times 9, and mass attached is 4 is mass of 10 plus 3 gram means 4 plus 3 7 gram. So 7 9s are 63 is the second MP square. Now to take the third reading, I have to reduce the loop to 2. So 3 loops are there right now. So you remove the mass and add the mass such that the number of loops reduces to 2. Now to obtain 2 loops, I have to increase the mass because condition is that length should get constant. So if I add for 3 loops, we add 3 gram mass. So I am gradually increasing and keeping 5 gram mass, and I will observe the loop. They are not coming. What is our aim? We have to find out 2 loops. So I am increasing the mass. It is 6 gram now. They are not much steady. So if I am keeping directly 10 gram, yeah, they are steady. And if I am calculating MP square now, so here number of loops are 2. So 2 to the 4. 4 multiplied by 4 plus 10, 14. 14 4 is 56. So that MP square is not much closer to first 2 readings. So if I add 1 gram and still if I am getting 2 loops, and yeah, still I am getting, they are more well defined loops. So now the MP square is coming 4 multiplied by 15. 15 4 is 60. So this reading is very close to the first 2 readings. So this will be MP square for the 2 loops. So what you have to do, you have to increase the weight gradually such that your MP square must be consistent with the previous readings and loops should be the well defined. Now while adjusting this arrangement, your string must be parallel with the table. Right. Now same thing with the empty pan, as we obtained 4 loops. As the theory tells us that if the position of the tuning fork is perpendicular, then the number of loops will be doubled. So for the same mass, for the same length, if I am changing the position of the tuning fork to perpendicular, then this is the perpendicular position. This is the empty pan, length is constant. What is changed? The change is simply we are changing the position of the tuning fork. Now this position is called perpendicular position because when I strike the tuning fork, the prongs are vibrating in this direction and wave is propagating in this direction. So transverse waves are propagating along the length, and at the end of the pulley, these waves are reflected, and due to the interference of incident and reflected waves, stationary waves are produced. So the theory tells us that when for the same length with the same tension, if the position is changed to perpendicular, the number of loops will be doubled. Now see in this case, they are very short because we obtain 4 loops for parallel position. If you make it perpendicular, you will obtain 8 loops. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Up to the center we are obtaining 4 loops, and remaining part, because they are equidistant loops, so the 8 loops are obtaining. Again you can calculate MP square. M is the 4 gram, empty pan 4 gram, and number of loops are here 8. So 8 8s are 64 multiplied by 4 is the first MP square. Similarly, you can reduce the loop to 6 loops and 4 loops by adding the weight. So for perpendicular position also you can find the TP square is nearly constant. Thank you.
Now see the observation table for parallel position. So in first column, observation number, second column, mass added in the pan, and it is denoted by M1. In third column, total mass, that is capital M, is equal to M0 plus M1, and M0 is our mass of the pan and it is 4 gram. Now in fourth column, number of loops P, and in last column M P square. So that for first reading, mass added in the pan is 0, that is for empty pan, and for first reading MP square is 64. For second observation, mass added in the pan is 3 gram and our MP square is 63, and for third reading, mass added in the pan is 11 gram and MP square is 60. So mean MP square is 62.33, and finally our result is MP square is 62.33 and which is constant. Thank you.